I'm feeling very spontaneous today, chaps, because I've been thinking about rejoining the gym for actually quite a while. And I have my gym equipment here at home, but the truth is, it's quite lonely and a bit sad feeling. And there are those that will say that only the training is what matters. But I did actually, probably a few months ago now, go into Sheffield, which is not a big, huge, buzzing metropolis, like Manchester or London or any big city. Sheffield is kind of somewhere in between a town and a city, but obviously it has a lot of nostalgic feeling for me. But I'd gone around the gym, and it's a nice big gym. It's got all of the equipment that you want and quite a lot of machines that are sort of nice cherries on the cake. And when I went back in there today, because I joined this morning, got an amazing deal, got the bus over, and then literally just started playing when I got into the gym, just doing whatever kind of exercises I felt like doing and wandering around and just taking in the atmosphere. And what was actually really nice about it was to be around normal people. And there's a lot of discussion online, the resurgence of Christianity, and a lot of people kind of, it's really braggy. There was a post I commented on earlier where people are talking about the YouTuber PewDiePie, who was the biggest YouTuber, and now he's gone off and I think he's moved to Japan and he's got a wife and a young baby, and they're saying, now all he has to do is convert to Christianity. And it's so crass and undignified the way that people go about, this sort of evangelism online. But he, lots and lots of different people online kind of sensationalizing things, and it's just nice to be in a place where everybody's doing the same thing. That's why I mentioned church, that every single person in that gym, and the nice thing about being in Sheffield is they're far more straightforward than the people in London. Going to the gym the few months before I left London was just absolutely impossible because you just couldn't get to any of the machines. There were women that were doing 10 sets, not allowing, not sharing the machines. It's just not the way that things are done. And you think, what we're doing here. And there was a real kind of collegiate feeling about being in the gym today. But also the sheer act of being spontaneous, because even in joining the gym, I was actually going to go on Wednesday. I thought, no, I've paid. Let's just go and do it and be out there in the real world. Never know who you're going to meet. I ended up having really nice chats with various people on the bus on the way and on the way back. And it felt good to be in the real world and just to be doing normal things, but at the same time challenging myself. Because the thing is, I've actually been off and on to the gym a lot, and I've gone heavy. There are some times I've been so obsessed with training that I've gone to the gym 5 and 6 times a week, sometimes twice in one day, to do different routines and different programs, etc., etc. But I'm at a point now where I've got a really good muscle memory, and I was doing lots of different exercises, and I had in my mind roughly the kind of weights that I was going to do, but I ended up actually doing quite a lot more. And I did quite focused sets where I was really focusing on the quality of the movement, and it was a very, very present and immersed feeling that I got by being there. And I left feeling really enriched by it, really uplifted, really, it felt really satisfying to actually be back in a place that is intended for one thing and one thing only. Because being online, I think what we can actually forget and maybe not notice is that everybody's wanting to pull you in all these different directions, and they want you to be part of their thing. And there's this young lad from Pakistan, and he's commenting on a lot of my work. He's liking all of my posts. He's sending me messages about various business opportunities, and he's got a lot of pluck and vim about him. But what's really nice is getting a more crystallized idea of what it is that I really want to do, how I want to help other men. And being at the gym definitely feels like an intrinsic and sort of obligatory part, of doing that. I feel like when I'm not really pushing myself health and fitness wise, that I lack credibility, and I actually impressed myself with the efforts that I made at the gym, but also just the sort of haphazard that I went from doing deadlifts to hack squat machine, and then I was doing, isolation exercises for the chest, and loads of different things came back to me that I hadn't actually even planned on doing when I was thinking about it on the journey over. It was just a really easy, ironically we'll say this, relaxed, free-flowing, it's what I mean relaxed. Very free-flowing, very natural, just having a bit of a potter around and picking up different weights and doing different exercises and being part of the milieu, looking at all of the different people. And what was actually really nice was you're always going to get a few people in there, who are doing weights slightly above what they're actually able to do with proper form. And sort of dropping the weights down with the crash on the floor. And 6 months ago or a year ago, that would have really, really irritated me. But I thought, well, okay, well, we're in the gym, there are weights, there are going to be a handful of idiots who are going to do that because, they want the attention of it, and, whatever. There's always going to be that type. And I just thought, okay, right, whatever. Let him do it. And the good thing is it's a nice big gym, so once I realised that he was doing that, I actually, moved out of the way, got away from that energy, and just kept on doing my thing. And I felt really familiar and exciting, adventurous at the same time. So the thing really, and when I think about building my own business, none of these things are actually that complicated. You've just got to be consistent with them, and you'll develop strength, and you'll develop skills, and you'll develop resilience over time. And we're talking about when it's fitness of moving heavy stuff and moving your body. When it's business, it's having an offer and talking with people. The principles are very, very simple, but we suffer with things like imposter syndrome, feeling like we're completely out of our depth, that we're useless and that we're hopeless, but none of it is actually true. It's just the programming that's up here, and the more that you do, the more courageous you get, and the less of a fuck you give, frankly. So just go out there and do stuff, and if you've got a whim that won't go away, something that you just fancy doing, if it's going to the gym or going out and going to the cinema, or whatever it is, scratch the itch and be open to the universe delivering you really, really powerful and good things. But the only way that you do it is by going out there and being brave and being spontaneous and being, a little bit off the cuff. Enjoy it. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Ciao for now.